What's up, everybody? Caesar Madrazo here, and we are back with more Doki Doki Blue Skies. Now, we ended in the last episode right as we were about to go see Sayori to get some pumpkins to carve, because apparently the girls are planning on going through some Halloween shenanigans, breaking into the school and having themselves a little party, which I talked a little bit about what exactly my thoughts were on that last time, so I won't talk about that too much. Let's just dive right into the video. Here we go. Minutes tick by without a response. Sayori? At this rate, I'd probably have a more of a two-way conversation with a mime. Man, how creepy must I look just aimlessly standing outside her house. With a sigh, I open the gate and head to her house. We're really gonna have to work on her sleeping patterns. I always knew she could be a little lazy, but this is getting annoying. Sayori? It's me. Sorry, I didn't want to wait outside. Are you, dressed? If I strain my ears, I can faintly pick up the sound of her voice. She's not replying to me, though. It sounds like she's talking to herself. I can't quite pick up what she's saying from this distance. Probably sleep-talking, and knowing her, sleep-talking about food. I'm nearing the end of my patience. Okay, that was your last chance. If you're getting changed or anything, you can't be mad at me. Man, her room is a mess. Okay, we got some new music here. It's kind of quiet. Let me turn up the desktop audio a little bit. I just turned it down because at the beginning it looked like the music was a little too loud. Just another minor thing to point out is that the audio normalization in regards to music in this mod seems to be a little bit all over the place. Like, some of the music is definitely louder than others. But that's okay, it's not hard to adjust. Okay, so let's see. Man, her room is a mess. And Sayori herself is tucked away in the mess of pillows, blankets, and the duvet that forms her bed. There's a swathe of hair that's fallen into her mouth, and she's drooling slightly. She's curled up into a ball with her arms hugging herself. It's a strangely adorable sight, and I feel bad in having to wake her. As I draw closer, I can finally make out what she's saying. And to my dismay, it's nothing wholesome at all. It sounds more like she's softly whimpering to herself, and I can also spot glistening wet trails down her cheeks. So she's crying in her sleep? Seeing Sayori cry is a sight I never wish I'd had to see. Well, if somebody is crying in their sleep, you know, I'm no psychology expert, but I think that's a really, really big deal. Like, you know, if it's just, like, it could be that it's just, like, a really bad nightmare, but, but it sounds to me like the mod is trying to connect this with her depression, and, if that's the case, like, if somebody is so depressed to the point that they're crying in their sleep, then that's a really, really big deal. Almost to the point that I would say it's a bit unrealistic to have Sayori be as happy as she is in her day-to-day routine, because I feel like somebody who's suffering from depression to that degree, there is no way they'd be able to make themselves pretend to be happy unless they had just, like, the mental discipline of, like, a freaking Navy SEAL or something. Anyway, can't help it. What's she talking about? Sorry, I'm so useless. Yeah, okay, so this is definitely about her depression. And also, like, I feel like this, what I was just talking about, I feel like it's even more highlighted by the fact that she's talking in her sleep, and everything she's saying is about how she thinks that she's useless, but really trying for everyone. She flips over restlessly, a sob accompanying the movement. But it's so hard, so tiring, don't want to do any more. No, please. Okay, so this, this also is coming across as that she's suicidal. And again, if she's suicidal to the point that she's saying suicidal things in her sleep, then I mean, that's almost as serious as it gets, beyond an actual, like, you know, second to an actual suicide attempt. So, yeah, that's really, really bad. Anyone, I know, selfish. Sayori, her head turned slightly, almost as if she heard me, her eyes remaining shut, so it's impossible to tell if she's awake. Sayori, it's me. Caesar, it's okay, I'm here. No, I don't want to go. Didn't work last time. They said it would work. Fresh sobs fill the room as she cries harder. Her voice breaks completely as tears drip down her face. So I feel like this should definitely be enough to wake her up. At this point, I've had enough. A strong protective instinct within me demands that I reach out and gently clasp one of her hands with mine. If somebody is going through this level of emotion while they're sleeping, I'm not sure that waking them up would be a good idea. To me, just, you know, again, I'm no expert, but I think that could be enough to, like, put them into shock if you try to wake them up while they're sleeping and they're having this strong of an emotional episode while they're sleeping. So the best thing to do would probably be to, honestly, not try to wake her up. With her hand in mine, I gingerly shake her awake. Sayori! Caesar. And with that final mysterious utterance, her eyes flutter open, with panic momentarily flashing through them. When she sees me, she visibly relaxes and sits up. Oh, hi, Caesar. She was wearing this to bed? Like, this, I mean, this... It looks like she's wearing a sweater for winter. Like, look at this. Like, yeah, like a button-up sweater. Like, I mean, it looks like a jacket. She must... Either her room is really cold, or maybe the mods just couldn't find a better set of PJs for her. She hastily turns away and tries to discreetly wipe her face. I'm still trying to process what I've just witnessed. Sayori, are you okay? I think you were having a nightmare. Oh, was I? I don't remember anything like that. I was literally right here listening to you cry. Of course you had a nightmare. You said some really concerning stuff. She anxiously bites her lip as she replies, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you worried. You seriously need to stop thinking that you're a burden. Well, this is the first time that would have been brought up. You seriously need to stop thinking that you're a burden. I don't recall any other moments in this mod so far where Sayori has thought that way. At least not off the top of my head. Maybe there was one or two, but it sounds like this is the first time it's being addressed. So, I don't know. It just seems like the player is addressing it as if this is something that is, that has happened on a more significant level. The other thing is, if the mod is trying to suggest that the player knows that Sayori thinks that she's a burden all the time, then I feel like the player should be a little bit more mindful about what Sayori was just going through there while she was asleep. But maybe I'm analyzing too much. Anyway, it's my job to be concerned about you. We're best friends. You're really silly sometimes, you know that? What's going on, Sayori? Please, just talk to me. She looks ashamed as she gets herself out of bed. Oh god, I just realized. I totally forgot what we have planned for today. And I overslept. Caesar, I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. She flails around and on instinct I reach out and pull her into a hug. I did just recall that there was that conversation where Sayori was starting to talk about her depression before the call from the player's mom interrupted. But again, it wasn't really addressed. So this should be the player should either have prior knowledge of Sayori's depression, or at this point the player should be pretty much clueless and know that something is going on, but not really know what it is. Clearly this takes her by surprise, and she doesn't make an effort to return it, at least initially, but after a while she eventually starts to weakly hug back. As we break apart, Sayori smiles, clearly trying to put her nightmare behind her. Thank you, Caesar. You always know how to make me feel better. Anyway, we have a lot to do today, right? Let's get started then. Is she really going to try and ignore the elephant in the room? Sayori, don't you want to take... No. Sorry, I just really don't want to talk about it if that's okay. Another glimpse of this concerning side she worked so hard to pass off. And yet, there they are again, those walls I can never get through. But, Caesar, please, it's nothing. Everyone has nightmares. She seizes on my moment of silence. Anyway, can you just give me a moment to get dressed? Then we can start getting spooky. With a sigh of resignation, I leave and close the door behind me. We can get some pumpkins from the supermarket. You've got a knife at home, right? Yeah. So, what kind of things should we carve into them? Bats, skulls, all those cheesy Halloween things, right? It's tempting to not answer, to give Sayori a taste of her own medicine. I don't think she's aware of just how frustrating this is. But then again, do I really want to ruin this day? Sayori is clearly trying to put it past us. As much as I want to know what's going on, she is really not in any mood to divulge. And bringing it up now would probably ruin the mood and day for both of us. Besides, I can't really stay angry at her. Her general bubbly persona is just so infectious. Only someone without a heart could be immune to it. Another thing that I just thought of is, you know, there have to have been many opportunities for you to talk to Sayori about what she's going through. Because, I mean, you live next door to her. This mod is, you know, skipping entire weeks on end. So, I mean, I don't know. It seems like if this is that much of a concern to the player, then in the day-to-day transition, I feel like there should have been some conversations about this. Which maybe there was. Maybe that's what the mod was trying to imply with that you seriously need to stop thinking you're a burden line. But if that is the case, then I feel like they could have been a little bit more clear about that. But I don't know. Maybe the answers will be given to us a little later on down the road. I begrudgingly smile. Or spiders. I forgot how much you're terrified of them. Oh, come on. Like you're any better. I am. Okay, maybe with the big ones. Even though Halloween isn't as largely celebrated here, at least compared to Western countries, shops still have made a decorative effort. At least compared to Western countries. Well, if this is supposed to be Japan, then that is definitely not true. Halloween is one of the biggest celebrations of the year in Japan. Like, people go freaking nuts in Japan on Halloween. And judging from the Japanese writing that I'm seeing up there, I think that's katakana, and that might be one kanji character up there. But okay, then yeah, confirmed, this is supposed to be Japan. Well, then this is inaccurate. Halloween is a huge deal in Japan. It's basically nothing in Korea. I don't know how it is in China, but I know for a fact that Halloween is a big, big celebration in Japan. It's like a nationwide party. Anyway, all of the cheesy cliche Halloween decorations can be seen both on the exterior and interior of the shop. Lucky for us, all the pumpkins are right at the front. Wow, these are huge, which means we have more space to make some awesome decorations. Don't you think? Her eyes meet mine, the cheerful enthusiasm still bouncing around in them. Yeah, good thinking. Let's get these three. Ooh, do you mind if I grab some food for later? Yeah, sure, what were you thinking? Pizza! Not exactly the healthiest of choices, is it? Who said she had to make a healthy choice, man? Hey, I don't see you chomping on salad, you know. Can't dispute that. But in all seriousness, Sayori, maybe you should try something that isn't just junk food. I worry about you sometimes, you know. Really? I mean, she looks pretty thin to me. She looks fine. I know. You don't need to, though. I'll make more of an effort soon, I promise. Alright, fine. Pizza it is. But only if I get a slice. Or two. Deal. In an attempt to display my masculine bravado, I volunteered to carry all three of the pumpkins. In hindsight, given how much my arms are screaming at me, I immediately regret this decision. This must have been some big pumpkins. I can't believe you didn't let me carry any of them. You're so silly sometimes. It's no sweat, Sayori. No sweat at all. Don't drop them, don't drop them, don't drop them. Ha! What? That pumpkin is shaped like your head. I swear to God, I will throw one of these at you. You wouldn't dare. Well, I mean, yeah, you would ruin it. Besides, I don't think you'd be able to lift it high enough. I hate how true that is. Sayori 1, Caesar 0. That's so unfair. You're taking advantage of the poor situation I'm in. Well, no, she's not taking advantage of the poor situation you're in. She's making fun of you because you decided that you wanted to try to show off by carrying all three pumpkins. If I recall correctly, you're the one who insisted on carrying these, exactly. She adopts a comedic, super low male voice. It's okay, Sayori. I'm a big, strong guy who can handle all of these pumpkins. Okay, firstly, I don't sound like that. Right? An innocent smirk is my only response, which turns into indignation as I blow a puff of air into her face. It's the little victories in life. So, which shape should we go with first? Let's just keep it simple for now. We can just go with a generic jack-o'-lantern face. I'll pull up a reference photo on my phone. We gotta start by scooping out the insides, though. So let's get a hole in the top. With a look of steadfast determination, she slices away the top of the pumpkin, exposing the contents within. She looks really cute with that look on her face. Her nose has scrunched up, and she's focusing intently on her task. And the best part is she's so oblivious to how endearing she really is. Come on, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Okay. Oh man, it feels so cold and sticky. It's slow but steady work as we scoop out the inside. I do my best not to focus on how soft her hands and arms feel as they brush against mine. Well, I mean, if you're digging into the pumpkins, how are your hands brushing together? Unless you're digging into the same pumpkin, maybe. But do you really need more than one person to clean out one pumpkin? There. Now my hands are all sticky. Yeah, mine too. Say, do you want a new hairstyle? I grin and reach forward, aiming for Sayori's head. What? Don't you even think about it. Okay, I won't. I hold my hands up as a sign of peace. Sayori remains backed up away from me, a suspicious look on her face. As she lets her guard down and comes closer, I dart forward and boop her nose, leaving an orange smear. Hey, meanie, I'm gonna get you for that. Only if you can actually catch me. Well, now you're gonna make your house a mess, dude. I smile and dart away from her strike. Sayori has never been particularly coordinated, so it's pretty easy to dodge her clumsy attempts. As she comes in for another swipe, I catch her wrists with my hands. Now you got her wrists dirty. She's squirming and wriggling, doing her best to escape my grip. Unfortunately, due to the slipperiness of the pumpkin coating on both our hands, my grip wasn't as strong as I'd like. You just said it was sticky. What do you mean? She manages to twist her hand free and lands a respectable orange smear on my cheek. Aha! I told you! Her victory is short-lived as I manage to return the favor down her neck. Ah! Okay. A truce. For real this time. No tricks? No. We still have to carve the pumpkins. Okay, fair enough. As we wash our hands, Sayori takes out a pen and starts to trace a face onto the pumpkin. I'm looking through the cupboards, trying to find a knife that's big enough. Ah, this one will do. How's this? I wander over to the left of Sayori. This is unfair. How is it that a girl who was late to wake up and get ready still smells really good? What an odd observation to make in that moment. A faraway, detached part of me vaguely remembers something my biology teacher was saying about pheromones. Okay, we're going this route apparently. Well, yeah, it smells great. Oh, what? Smells? Huh? Oh, damn, did I say smell instead of look? By the way, pheromones are not supposed to smell good. Like, yeah, they're supposed to make you attracted to somebody, but pheromones, like if you're covered in pheromones, you're basically just gonna smell like BO, essentially. Guess I'm a little hungry, huh? Yeah, that's perfect. I'll start carving it. By the way, just there, I don't know why, there's something really weird about thinking about Sayori's pheromones. Just weird thought. Okay, there. Wow, that looks great. We make an awesome team, don't we? Ha, we sure do. What about for the other two pumpkins? I was thinking we could do a bat for this one, and we could just keep it simple for the last one. Like carve boo into it. Perfect. Well, here we go again. A while later, and we're finally done. Our handiwork sits proudly in front of us. Job well done. The others are gonna love them. Haha, I just realized. We must look like two proud parents, except our kids are pumpkins. Sayori breaks out into giggles. Caesar, you've always been really funny, you know that? I mean, if that's considered really funny, then her standards for comedy are not very high. One of these days I'll learn how to take a compliment from the opposite sex. You're not gonna take the compliment? Especially when it comes to from someone I think I'm starting to fall in love with. Okay, well, so we're just gonna not so subtly slide that in there. Unfortunately, that day is not today. As I feel my cheeks heat up, I'd be very surprised if Sayori didn't pick up on it. You can't. Somebody tells you you're funny and you're gonna blush over it? Wow, man. Anyway, I've had a lot of fun today. Sadly, I've got a lot of homework to get on with, so I'm gonna have to go. But I'll take a pumpkin with me. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday. Oh, and look, I know you're concerned about me, about what happened earlier, but please, just try not to worry too much or anything. No, this is something to definitely worry about. Those were some pretty huge red flags. And that would be the first thing that I'd be pointing out to them and saying, listen, there is more than enough evidence here to say that we need to get you some professional help, like very soon. I'll try and tell you when I'm comfortable, okay? Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. With a click, the door closes behind me. I don't get much time to stew over the day's events, though, as my phone blares to life. It's my mother. Hi, Caesar. How have you been doing? Are you eating well? Whoa, Mom, slow down. I'm fine. School's going well. Sakurai started talking about World War I, so history is pretty enjoyable. About the eating part, how are things on your end? Stressful. I want to come home and see you. I've been feeling ever so guilty about being away. That's fine, seriously. Since joining the club, that lonely feeling has pretty much disappeared. Plus, Sayori and I are hanging out a lot, so it's nice to have some regular contact with her again. Oh yes, that club of yours. You said it was a literature club, right? Mm-hmm. Ah, well, that should mean your grades for Japanese should be fantastic, right? It's definitely helping. And the other club members? Yeah, we get along pretty well. One girl is really shy, the other one is kind of cold, but I think she's a softie at heart. Oh, and Monika's the president. Oh, the Monika you used to share classes with? The one you had a crush on? Mom, I didn't have a crush on her. Of course not. So, being around Sayori again. When I called you last week, you were on, at the park with her, right? Yeah. I don't think there was any kind of implication that they were on a date. I'm so happy for both of you. She was always your best friend growing up. Although, perhaps it's motherly intuition, but I get the feeling that you and Sayori... What about us? I can sense her knowing smile even over the phone. Well, you tell me. Tell her you're developing feelings, don't tell her about the feelings. I mean, she's your mom, and she's away, so what can she say? Yeah, just be honest with her. Well, truth be told, Mom, I think I really like her. Like, in that sense. Ah, yes, I did think this day would come eventually. Look at my little boy, all grown up, falling in love with a girl. Mom, let her gush a little bit, man, it's her son. Sorry, I guess I should have seen this coming. Given the way you used to act around her as a kid, always looking out for her, protecting her from things that scared her, sharing your food with her, quite the gentleman you were. Really? You had your suspicions that early on? Motherly instincts, sweetheart. We share a laugh. It was confusing at first. I didn't really know what these new feelings were. I'd start to notice little things about her that I didn't see before, like how pretty her eyes are or how nice she smells. Oh man, this is... You're gonna talk to your mom about the pheromones thing, or how cute she looks when she's trying to concentrate. I sigh dreamily. Okay, well now you're getting a little weird about it, man. Yeah, I'll admit it. She's got me good. So what's holding you back? Well, I don't really know girls that well. How am I supposed to know if she likes me back? Ha, teenage love. Well, look at it this way. When a girl likes you, she'll do a few things to try and signal that interest. Does she maintain eye contact with you a lot? Well, all the girls do. Laugh at your jokes? Yeah. Offer to come with you to places or invite you along? Compliment you? Kind of, yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, yeah. But sometimes she acts a little bit off. As in, there are days when she doesn't really want to talk to me or anyone else. There's something that she's hiding, but she keeps her walls up and doesn't let me in. Like today, she was having a really bad nightmare, saying stuff like she's really tired and she feels bad for being useless. But she never wants to talk about it and just brushes me off whenever I try to help her. Okay, so hopefully the mom is able to see what I'm seeing here. Well, there was a long gap in your history together. Perhaps something happened in her life, something that she isn't ready to share just yet. Patience is a virtue, sweetheart. You'll have to understand it from her perspective. Sometimes people just don't want to share. Excuse me. I know it must be frustrating. You want to help, but she's just not letting you. Yeah. As much as we would like to, sometimes we can't just force ourselves into someone's life like that. Well, I would agree if it weren't for the fact that these red flags, as I said, they're very, very alarming. Besides, we have no idea what her reasoning is. I'm sure she'll tell you when she feels comfortable doing so. But doesn't that mean she doesn't trust me yet? Not necessarily. From what you've told me, she enjoys spending time with you. She certainly does trust you, just not on that level yet. It'll come in time. Anyway, unfortunately, I have to go. A lot of work to be done still. It was lovely talking to you again, sweetheart, and keep me updated on the Sayori situation, especially if anything major pops up, okay? Sure thing, Mom. And thanks. Your advice has been really helpful. Well, her advice has been a little bit helpful. I wouldn't say it's been very helpful. I think she also is, not quite seeing the elephant in the room here. You're very welcome, darling. Bye. Call ended. With both my mother and Sayori gone, the room feels strangely empty. As I meander upstairs into my room and flop onto my chair, my mother's words echo in my mind. Maybe Sayori does like me too, then? Huh. Well, even if she does, what am I meant to do? Am I meant to make the first move? Ask her to date or be my girlfriend? Although if we've been hanging out, just us two, isn't that already technically a date? No. Gah! I don't know. I think I'll just see how the next couple of weeks go and not push anything. Alright. Foreshadowing that we're probably going to be skipping entire weeks again. Primarily because I don't know what I'm doing. With a weary sigh, I boot up my computer. There's no way I'll be able to get any homework done with all this on my mind. Video games should be a nice way to relax. It's Halloween coming up, so let's pick a horror game. This one looks tempting. Third-person survival horror, police detective, nightmare simulation. Sounds like, wow, the name is escaping me. Sounds like Resident Evil. I don't know why it took me so long. Resident Evil, the remake. This will do fine. Alright, so that was an entire day that we did there, and we're approaching the 25-minute mark, so I think we're going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. So, we got some alarming red flags from Sayori that nobody seems to quite understand the magnitude of. Alright, let's go ahead and save here. So, we'll see what... excuse me. We'll see what comes of this as we proceed throughout the mod. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back tomorrow. I'm planning on trying to get one Blue Skies video out every weekday this week. There have been days where, you know, stuff has come up, but I think that this week I'll be able to get 5 videos out for all 5 weekdays, so stay looking forward to those. Also remember, the highlights video from my last live stream is going to be up on my second channel pretty soon. And with all that said, I will see y'all next time. Until then, I'm Caesar Madrazo, and I'm out.